you've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. Cometh, watch, and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience.
Observe the human heart. One may marvel at mysticism and folklore surrounding this bodily organ nearly since the world's inception. As it is the center of life, all our passions administer from the heart into bloodstreams, giving motor nerves functionality to move in the direction of and grasp ambition. What in this world do you love? Contemplate as we examine intricate details into mankind's deepest endeavors. Welcome to another episode of Stimulus Dimension. Today's topic is entitled The Day I Fell in Love with Hip Hop with Detroit hip hop recording artist NIQUE Love Rose. Before we get into the interview, NIQUE, just tell everybody out there your job title and what you like to do for fun.
Oh, okay. Well, what's up? Thank you for having me. What up, though, everybody? I am NIQUE Love Rose. I'm a hip hop artist, songwriter, performer, entrepreneur, and what I love to do for fun. Man, I love to just chill at home, with my family, with my baby, my 18-month-old toddler, and my husband, and yeah, just chill, watch movies.
Definitely. Shout out to Kobe Nazir Campbell.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad you're here.
Hey,
okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into my first question. Hip hop is reputed as being a blood sport. As an MC, what is your mind state when approaching a microphone, whether it be freestyling, battle rap, or regurgitating lyrics in front of an audience?
I think my mindset is just like how to best communicate my thoughts and my emotions, just like in the most authentic and purest way. That's really what goes into my mindset. Is just really like being myself. I'm not the biggest, like I've never battle rapped before. I wouldn't consider myself, I don't think that would be like my realm. But definitely it's a different mindset when it comes to freestyling versus like recording a song that's going to be put on record versus like performing. Like freestyling is fun because it's just like whatever. It's just you go with whatever comes in your head, and you know, if it makes sense, cool. If it doesn't, it's good, whatever. It's fun, it's carefree. When it comes to like actual like recording for an actual song that's going to be put out on like a record or whatever, it's definitely, you're thinking more about the technical aspects of it. So making sure that what you're saying is very clear, making sure you get a good vocal take, making sure you're communicating the emotion and feeling of the song accurately. And then performing is just kind of like you living in your element. And so it's like that adrenaline rush of like, you know, when you're doing something in front of an audience, it's just like you feeding off the audience, they're feeding off of you. And you're not only thinking about making sure you remember your words and you just caught up in the emotion of the song, but I'm also listening to like the technical stuff, making sure like my monitors I can hear myself perform. And if I'm rocking with my band, making sure like I'm locked in with them. So live is kind of you thinking of different things at the same time. It's super weird, but it's fun.
Yeah, a lot of MCs, I don't know, I'm not gonna say shy away from the battle mode, but your animal instinct has to kick in when in battle mode. Pretty much, it's a a battle of wits, you know, pretty much. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay, going on to my next question. Words are weapons. What type of weaponry would you compare your style of MCing to, and why?
Hmm. That's a good question. I would say my style of weaponry would be a katana. Maybe, yeah, I'll say a katana because it's not, I would say like you have to definitely be very precise and intentional with like what you're aiming at. You have to constantly like sharpen, your katana, make it make sure you stand sharp and on point. But it's something I would say, like, even just thinking about like the martial arts aspect is something very uh like very spiritual about it, you know what I'm saying? So come here. My son is coming into the room.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy because not only do you have to stay sharp, you have to stay relevant or people will fall out of touch with you and what you're saying. So I think that's a very
Yeah,
good example.
so yeah, I would say yeah, a katana.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, my next question. Many believe love is found in the strangest places. When and where did you fall in love with hip hop?
I fell in love with hip hop pretty early. I was probably around 8 or 9. But I'm the only child, so I came up around my cousins a lot, and all my cousins were older than me. And so back in the 90s, they would watch this video show called The Box.
Yeah, the box, formerly the jukebox. Yep, the box.
And so that's how I got all my exposure to hip hop early on and just fell in love with it, just seeing like everybody from uh, you know, Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill, Missy videos, Tribe Called Quest videos, Arrested Development videos, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie, like the gamut. I feel like all like the golden era of like 90s hip hop is, what I came up on. And even R&B like TLC and Aaliyah, like just really like music, early on, it just captivated me. And so I'll say those are like my earlier memories. My first rap album that I bought was DMX's, and then there was X and Jay-Z's volume 2 or volume 3, whatever one had Big Pimpin' on it. I think that was volume 3. But that was like my first, like where I took my own money, went to the store and like bought a CD. And of course, my mom threw them away because she heard the language and she was like, you ain't listening to that. So it was short lived.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me. I think my first album was LL Cool J Bad. And my mother popped the tape, and the tape deck, so she heard the cuss word, she did a U-turn. It was like, I'm taking this back right now. And I begged her to keep it, because it was real popular around school and things. And that was my first album, Bad. She let me keep it. So yeah, that was my first early exposure.
Yes. That's so funny.
Okay. All right, my next question.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say that when an artist's music has the blessings of the streets, any other avenue will follow suit. Do you believe this to be true? If yes, why? If no, why not?
If music, if you have the blessing of the streets, then everything else will follow. Is that the question? Do I think that's
Yes, pretty much.
um, I think yes and no. So I think if you're talking about like the streets as in just like the people on the ground, like the people in the community, then yeah, I think that's 100%. I think especially as hip hop is such a community-based music and art form that it's the language of the people. And so I think, yeah, if you had a blessing of the people, you had an ear of the people, then yeah, absolutely everything else is gonna follow. I think if you're talking about like streets as far as like streets, I think, it's that can be limiting. Um, And so I think it depends on, you know, if you're being authentic and true to yourself and making music with your listener and with your audience in mind, then I for sure think like all doors will open up. You know, if you tap into the culture and you're doing it from a sincere place, then that will take you super far.
I agree, because everybody, no matter what what your background is, everybody can relate to sincerity. I believe that to be true.
Sure. For sure. Yeah, guys. Keep it all the way real, right? That's hip hop.
Definitely. Okay. On to my next question. Allow me to differentiate between the terms lust and love. When someone lusts for something, it is for the fulfillment of temporary pleasures and desires. To love means to nurture, cherish, and hone something or someone for the growth of both factions involved. What is your view on rappers pursuing a life in hip hop with the sole purpose of lusting towards enriching themselves and not for the evolution of the art form?
Mm, I don't think they'll get far. I think, and even if they do get far and say if they, you know, blow up and get famous, I don't think it'll be uh long term. Like you see some artists who have been here and still relevant for decades. Like if you look at like a Nas or a Common or a Jay-Z or, you know, even like a Missy Elliott or whatever, you know, those artists are still relevant today, you know, and their work and their art has impacted culture like at deep levels. And then you have some artists who are just hot. They have a great song and it blows up, and then it's like you never hear from them again. You know, they become like a one-hit wonder, or they're just like hot for a season. So I think, um, you know, if you get into hip hop and if you like, you know, want to be an artist just to get famous, I don't think you'll really last that long. And then just the grind of just being an artist and all that comes with it is, you know, like you definitely got to have something deeper than of why you want to do this that'll sustain you long term for sure.
Yeah. And if you're not in it for the love, it'll come out or manifest itself in some kind of way.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You
Absolutely.
will be exposed. Phonies always get exposed in this game.
Never lied about that, man. Never
Yeah.
lied for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, on to my next question. The area of the heart known as the aorta carries blood from the heart into the rest of your body. When the person is of a certain inclination or calling, it is said to have been in their blood before they realized it. What other arenas, in addition to music, would you like to explore and leave your mark upon as it is running through your veins?
Definitely this is kind of stuff that I'm doing now, like business. Uh for sure, like right now with Decipher, that's kind of like outside of music, like the biggest thing I have going on. And so just really giving back to the music community here, supporting local artists in business, you know, activating public spaces with live music, representing that, you know, that Detroit music culture. Um, Something else that I definitely see myself doing down the line is teaching. And so really kind of like getting into like schools, universities, teaching like hip hop studies and stuff like that, just because I think hip hop is so powerful that it needs to be studied at a high level, academic level, just like Shakespeare and stuff like that. So that's something I definitely see down the line, and just like philanthropy, just like giving back to the community, doing social good while I'm here. Yeah.
And that shows you how much hip hop has grown. Anytime they can say a music that was just a bunch of noise and jibber jabber can in this day and time, 2021, what is it, like 40 something years old? Hip hop maybe almost 50 years old, I believe, the music itself, and now it can tap into the world of academia.
Yeah,
That's really a big accomplishment in itself.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, on to my next question. Throughout the decades, the rap genre has generated billions in revenue.
Mhm.
Many feel communities that produced a lot of the most successful artists do not benefit from any residuals whatsoever of their product. Who on what level controls the music industry and thrives most after bleeding the music business's most flourishing commodities dry?
That's a loaded question, man. I think who controls the music industry? So I think it's a couple of different answers. So you have uh one, you have I'm gonna say the unconventional answer is the people really control the music industry, because like if artists make what's popular, a lot of artists make what's popular, labels and record executives and the suits behind the business, they go after and promote what's popular based on what is selling and what people want to hear. And so I think the people first and foremost kind of drive what uh you know kind of the business of it. We're the people, we're buying concert tickets, we're streaming, we're purchasing merch from our favorite artists and all of that, and supporting whatever they putting out. So if you know you got an artist that's promoting violence and misogyny and stuff like that, and that's what's hot, is because people buying it somewhere. So I think the people control it. I definitely think the artists have a control of what they choose and choose not to create. And then you got some business, and so you got record executives, you got radio promoters, you got DJs who break records and keep records playing in the clubs and on air. So it's a lot of different people that I don't think it's just like one. It's not like an Illuminati group that can. It's a lot of different people that play a role in the whole music industry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. My next question. Under the government name Dominique Campbell, you morph into Neek Love Rhodes, once behind a microphone. What is the significance of the name and how did it come about?
Yeah, so the significance of the name is really because it's my name. Like Neek is my nickname that I've always had just coming up as a kid. Rhodes is my maiden name. So before I got married, that was my last name. So Neek Rhodes. And then I just put love in there because that's really everything that I do is kind of out of a place of love. So love of people, love of my community, love of my, self-love, love of my family, love of God, all of that. And so it just, Neek Love Roads. And when came up with it, I was like, oh, that was dope. It's stuck. So I just been rocking with it.
Yeah, I hear you. I think it's very befitting of your personality as well, I must say.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, on to my next question. When something is said to be found in the heart of a place, this means it's centrally located, making accessibility from all directions. What can listeners learn from lyrics pouring out of the heart of Neek Love Rose?
That's a good question. You asked us the best question. Like,
Thank you.
uh, at the center of my music, again, it's just love, man. Like, just to love others, love yourself, love God. Like, it's this world is a big, magical, beautiful place, and we all have a role and responsibility in our within our own communities, within our own networks, within our own circle of influence to like do something with the life that we have, while we're here. So that's really the I'll say the heart and soul of my music and my lyrics.
Okay, that's cool. All right, my final question. Atria of the human heart are the upper two chambers responsible for receiving and returning blood to the heart from our bodies, while ventricles pump blood from the heart to the body. This instance of give and take is analogous of a relationship an artist has with their audience. In your career, how have people responded and been inspired by your music?
Man, so people, I get really good feedback for my music, and I'm really thankful for that. For the most part, people, I've kind of the more common response that I get is, people just being inspired by it, and that's, it's always encouraging to me because that's, why I chose to be an artist, specifically a socially conscious hip hop artist, is to inspire people. And so, yeah, whenever I get that feedback, it's amazing, and I'm grateful for every DM, every comment, every person who comes up to me after a show or whatever. Like, it's that's why you do it. That's why I do it, at least.
Okay. All right. Well, in conclusion, I would like to say that this is hip hop emitted from a cardiac perspective. Before we get out of here, Nick, I want to put you on the spot a little bit. You think you can drop a freestyle for us?
Oh man, okay. Let me see. All right, here we go. Yo, so check, listen, yo, I'm up at Stimulus Dimension, not to mention I got right intentions and good intentions. And when I'm on the mic, I do it right. I'm breastfeeding my baby right now as we speak. And this is how we be, because we living so free, and I'm on mom duty, and I'm also a boss, and I pay the cost every time that I cross my T's and dot my I's. I am so fly, I can touch the sky when I put my mind to anything that I do. And I want to show and prove whenever I'm on the mic, and I do it right. And this is a freestyle. I never write anymore. I just sit in my car and vibe to the track. Because this is where it's at, and I let God speak to me and through me again. And I keep going, and I do it fully, and I never stop. I never quit. And DENNELL, he is the ish on the questions on the interview tip, and you gotta stay plugged in. This is how we do, and this is how we live. All right, there we go.
Thank you, Nick. That was real cool. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in to Stimulus Dimension. Peace.
You've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. Cometh, watch, and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience.
And ADI Virtual Active. Hey, check us out. Our second radio station, LICMC2 Radio. This is Willie Johnson. Looking forward to you listening to us. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to LICMC.net radio. Now listen to LICMC Radio 2. We have LICMC.net and LICMC Radio 2. You can access both by going to ldwcenterprise.weebly.com/radio. That's ldwcenterprise.weebly.com/radio. Listen to LICMC Radio and LICMC Radio 2.
You've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. Cometh, watch, and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience.